Hello world, welcome to another episode of my weekly rant dedicated to inspiring the change of mindsets, especially our African mindsets. Yesterday I came across and finished reading a book by a youthful Ugandan businessman who, according to Forbes magazine, is worth $870 million. The book is called Success and Failure Based on Reason and Reality. The author, Ham Kiggundu, is a 36-year-old guy who was born and raised in Uganda, and through hard work and the right mindset, he has risen up to be a super successful person whose net worth of $870 million can be considered a lot of money in any country in the world. So, how did he do it? But before I go on any further, if you like the material on this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. This supports me and it helps with the YouTube algorithms. So before you go any further, make sure you click that subscription button. According to the book, Ham Kiggundu started his business as an 18-year-old trading in retail commodities, and he progressed to wholesale, and after a couple years he ventured into real estate, and then he started international trade, importing and exporting. 14 years down the line, he has amassed $870 million, and this has him having logistics and supply chain companies in Dallas, US, in Manchester, UK, Dubai, and other African countries. So it is possible that growing up in Africa, through how you think, through your mindset, there is a way you can strategize and be successful, or at least that's the story you get from reading Ham's book. Currently, he has pivoted to move beyond commercial buildings, and he's now pivoting to agro-processing. His vision is to have the biggest agro-processing factory or industries in Uganda, and currently is building his first one, which is $120 million factory whose headquarters is a replica of the American White House. So he's actually visionary enough to say his headquarters can be also a tourist attraction for people who have never been to America to go and see a replica of the White House. But most impressive of all is the fact that even before he's 40 years old, this is a youthful age by any stretch of imagination, he has been able to put his wisdom to paper. He has written a book. You know, one of the things that pains us as Africans is that many of our successful people, whether politicians or business people, they die with their knowledge in their heads without putting it down to paper. This sabotages our development. In developed countries, US, England, Japan, all the successful people usually write books. This helps with the young generation as they're coming up. They can look up to successful people and they are able to read their story earlier on, and it helps the young people to strategize and plan. It's an inspiration for success. So this is a good thing that we should all be proud of, for someone successful in our society to put down to paper his strategies and his thinking, so that young people can copy and hopefully be inspired to strive for greatness. His main advice in the book is the fact that we Ugandans or Africans should use reason as opposed to emotions, and should analyze our realities and try to position our business or our activities in such a way that they add real value based on our realities. So by banking on reason and not emotions, we should be responsible. We should take responsibility in our thinking and our actions, as opposed to complaining about the state of poverty we've been born into or the negativity in our society. All those things will always be with us. But if you strategize and plan smartly with reason, it's possible that you can be successful. One of the things I like is his definition of poverty versus failure. He says poverty is a temporary state of lacking material goods. However, failure, being a failure, is a permanent state of poverty. And he goes on to say failure is 95% in the mind. It's all about the mindset. This is a very, very powerful statement, and I happen to believe it. All this advice sits very well with the advice that I'm trying to bring on this channel every week, and the advice I've written about in my 3 books. My 3 books, you can find them on Amazon, or if you're in Uganda, I'm going to leave a link in the description box so that you can go to my website and you'll find ways on how you can get a copy of one of my 3 books in Uganda. And as I announced 2 weeks ago, I've summarized my 3 books into a short paper which I've called the EDSAC framework. And you can download it for free on my website, www.fourthheritage.com. All the advice that I gave in my books and the ideas that I bring every week on this channel are to inspire us as Africans to change our mindsets in regard to what I call the 6 killer mindsets of victimhood mentality, self-hate, inferiority complex, and the other 3. So it's very edifying to see that there are people like Ham Kiggundu who are reaching the same conclusion as I did, which is that our biggest problem is the mindset, how we think. It is not colonialism or the white man or the bad states that we are born into. We can always have those excuses if we are lazy in our thinking or imagination, but that's not good enough. So Ham's book gives you some strategies on how to think and plan in the business sense, and I hope other Africans are also doing this great work of mindset changing. Ham is pushing in business. I'm pushing on this channel in regard to the 6 killer mindsets. Also, if you are a listener and you have a way you are working to change our mindsets, please let me know in the comment section below. Altogether, over time, we should be able to transform our people, our society, slowly. Thank you for watching, and remember, changing our mindsets is the struggle.